Coming live to Giant Sports Talk Live, the 7th inning stretch. Join your hosts, Eric, Glenn, and Lou. Game days for the 7th inning stretch as we go live and close out the game with you, the fan. Your home for the best Giants post-game reaction, the morning report, and in-depth coverage of Major League Baseball on the Giant Sports Talk Live pregame show. And now, the 7th inning stretch.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live. Can the Giants pull this one out? They are down 2-1 in Cincinnati right now. As it looks, Devers took a walk, which was good to see. My God, Schmidt is up to bat. Count is 0-2. He's going up against Santillan. Again, we're in the top of the 8th in Cincinnati. So that, hey, you know, it's a close game. Let's go ahead. Let's go live. Let's cover it the last couple of innings and see if the Giants can freaking do anything. All right, let's bring this up here. Again, we're going to be following the dots, guys. What's up, Elmore? What's up, Mike? What's up, Daniel? Good to see you guys in here. Again, we'll commence with the post game after the last out and see what happens. And it looks like, Casey Schmidt wind up striking out, ends the inning. Kind of story of the last few days here as far as Giants are concerned. All right, since we're in commercial, this is what we got. Adames having a fantastic game. Having a fantastic, great start to the year. He is 2 for 4. Look at that with a damn solo home run. Arias, 3 hits. Imagine that. Great to see him back in the lineup, guys. Great to see him back in the lineup. But look, come on. Luis Arias, he's missed when he's not in that lineup. Again, got 3 hits. Chapman was 0-4 today. Devers was 0-4 with a walk and a strikeout. Schmidt was 0-4 today. He just struck out. Lee had a nice game. He's starting to maybe do something. We'll see. He had 2 hits. He also had a double in there. Ramos 0-4. Bailey 0-4. Oliva 0-4. Robbie Ray, he was actually okay, but I'll tell you what, the Reds, they had a game plan facing Robbie Ray today. He goes 5 innings, gives up 2 earned. That's it. He only gave up 2 hits, both of them being big flies, and that was it. He had 4 walks. He was a little bit. I don't want to say wild, but the Reds weren't going outside the zone, so he had 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. And unfortunately, like I said, he left the game without the lead. So he's on tap for getting a loss. Killian had a nice inning, and Wynn had a nice inning, had 2 strikeouts. So let's see where this is going to go. We're going to get ready to go to the bottom of the 8th. What's up, RJ? What's up, Senior? What's up, Elmore? Johnny, what's up, man? And I see David Yu is also in there as well. So we'll see what the heck is going to happen the rest of this game, and then we'll get into the post game shortly thereafter. All right, so there's your do-ups. What is this? I think Hayes. Who else is coming up? Hold on. Hayes, Myers, and then McLean. Ryan Walker is now in the game. Oh boy. We'll see what happens. Native Dave says this is terrible. You're telling me. Anthony, it'd be nice if the offense would do the jobs. That's a fact. Anthony, and it's up and down the lineup. It's not one guy. It's not 2 guys. It's a bunch of guys, man. And it sucks because we got a couple of guys. Remember last year, how many people were dogging on Adames and Chapman, right? And right now, Adames and Chapman are some of your best players. They're not the problem for this year. Last year, of course, they had some issues. But this year, hey, they're doing their thing, and we'll see how that all pans out. Again, this is game number 17 of the season, so we'll see how this is all going to go. There we go. Count is now 2-2 to Hayes. Ryan Walker is in the game. Let's see how this all pans out. Can Ryan Walker get through this without giving up any more runs? Brian Hay grounds out to third baseman. All right, there we go. So 1 down. 1 down, 2 outs to go, and then it's going to be the top of the 9th, and we'll see what the heck is going to happen with the Giants at the top of the 9th. Frustrated Giants fan, we stink. Yeah. Hey, Chapman will be hitting around 240 and 250 when the season is over. Okay, Spencer, that's something we could talk about in the post game. As a matter of fact, that's something I want to talk about in the post game, right? Something we need to keep an eye on. Oh, what do we got? Okay. We'll see. We'll see. So you're telling me, Spencer, that because Chapman is starting off batting 270 and Adames batting around the same, somewhere around there, you're telling me they're not going to finish batting 270, 280? Is that what you're telling me, Spencer? You'll know where I'm going with this, Spencer. I think you might know what I'm talking about here. Because right after 17 games, it doesn't dictate that's what they're going to do throughout the year, right, Spencer? Is that what you're trying to say, Spencer? Are you trying to say that they have a back of the baseball card and it shows that their history is around 240, 250, right? Spencer, I hope I agree. I hope you're wrong too. I hope they finish, 260, 270. Wouldn't that be nice? That'd be a breath of fresh air. All right, what do we got? Oh man, look at this. I'm missing all this talking. Dane Myers lines out to the center fielder, Jared Oliva. How hard did he hit that thing? 98 miles an hour. Had some solid contact. Again, I'm not watching the game on TV, so I have to. If I watched on TV, I don't need to know whether or not what the miles per hour was coming off the bat. You just can tell by watching the game and listening. Frustrated fire Posey. Really? Are we going there already? Come on. There we go. 0-1 on McLean. He drew 2 walks, also was caught stealing. Oh, there we go. Strike 2. Another swingy side, a sinker up. You don't want to see sinkers up, but hey, it's a strike, so I'll take it. Look at that. Giants are down to their last out so they could get to the top of the 9th here and see what they can do. Look, guys, they're going to have to win these next 2 series, right? Come on. Got to win these next 2 series. You don't want to go back home further in the hole when you're going to get ready to go against the Dodgers. All right, there we go. Looks like Ryan Walker did his job. He flies out to right field. How hard did he hit that? 298 feet. Pretty decent. But it wound up being an out. So Ryan Walker got out of the inning without giving up any runs. Matter of fact, he didn't give up any hits either. All right, guys. Let's see what's going to happen here. Who are the do-ups? How come they got rid of? They got rid of the do-ups. Who was it that had the last out? Wasn't it? It was Devers. So no, it was Schmidt. So the do-ups is going to be Lee, Ramos, and Bailey. Oh, here we go. Oh, so Jung-Hoo Lee had a nice catch out there, did he? I don't know. Like I said, I'm watching dots. I don't know, man. RJ, Eric's, the Giants are going to be 7 games back after tonight. 7 games? Oh, you're talking about from the lead of, come on, man. I'm not even talking about the division right now, dude. Come on, man. Anthony Miller, we are screwed. Yeah. Lee haven't had a decent game. I don't know. We'll see. Ramos, brother, and then Bailey. Maybe they wind up pitch hitting for him. If they pitch hit for him, well, then that tells a lot, right? Said he made a brilliant catch against the wall to end the inning. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Nice. Jung-Hoo Lee's had a decent game. Notification. Hey, what's up, Dilated? Yeah, absolutely. We stink right now. Right? Come on. Let's see what happens. Come on. Just give it a little bit more time. That's what you have to do with baseball. I know you don't want to hear it, but hey, you have to. Right? You have to. Well, maybe you don't have to. Oh my gosh. Pinch hit Bailey. I don't care if his bat is where. Yeah. Let me refresh this thing. All right, here we go. Yeah, then they refreshed it. So Lee, Ramos, and Bailey. Yeehaw. I hear you. I hear you're frustrated. I hear you, dude. Oh, what do we got here? Emilio Pagan is coming in for the Reds. God, why did it do this again? All right, here we go. That was quick. Jung-Hoo Lee flies out to the right fielder. One pitch, one out. Yikes. Down to the last 2 outs, guys. RJ, I did see it. I saw it on Friday, RJ. Went and saw it on Friday. All right, here comes Ramos. Here we go. Here we go. Strike one. That's a called strike. Ooh, don't challenge that. I guess it doesn't matter now. Guess it really doesn't matter. Emilio Pagan, what's his numbers? What is Pagan doing here? Pagan, he's got a 5 ERA. Okay, I don't know anything. A swinging strike. Swung at a cutter below the zone. That's a great observation, frustrated Giants fan. They are not taking any walks, dude. None. They're not taking any walks. There's something weird going on, frustrated. We're going to talk about that in a postgame. And strike 3 to Ramos. He strikes out swinging on a 4-seam fastball, high and away. Way to go, Ramos. Here we go. Here comes here we go. Daniel Susak coming in to pinch hit for Patrick Bailey. How about that? How about that? What's that tell you? Yeah, Elma, quietly into the night. I know. Well, what are you going to do? I mean, come on. What are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? Baseball's going to be back again tomorrow, right? They lose today, maybe, probably, and then you got to come out and play again tomorrow. On-field delay. What's the on-field delay, guys? Anyone watching it on TV? What is the on-field delay? Was it nothing? Did a ball get out of the bullpen? Someone throw something out in the field? What happened? So Andrew Susak's going to come in and pinch hit for Patrick Bailey. What did Patrick Bailey do today? Nothing. He was 0 for 3. 0 for 3. Here we go. Caught strike. Took the first one. Right down Broadway. Right down Broadway. Count is 0-1 to Daniel Susak. Emilio Pagan closing it out for the Reds. Will the Giants go to 6-11? It's possible. It's probably. It was a mound visit. All right, thanks. Thanks, Senior. All right, here we go. This might be a little bit delayed, so if I'm behind, forgive me. Like I said, it's on the TV in the other room. Oh, he flies out sharply to left field. Looks like he took it all the way to the wall. Wow. Again, looking over here, looks like he took it. He hit it at 101, 379 feet. It was, gosh, it must have been close to tying it up. How close was it, guys? How close was it? 379 feet to left field. They hit it to the deepest part of left field, I guess, right? Oh, man. How far? Did it get to the wall, or was it just the warning track? Not that close, but close. All right. Oh, there you go, guys. There you go. Woo! All right, guys, let's get into the damn post game of Giants and Cincinnati. Giants lose. Let's talk about it.
And now, Giants Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day. Groovy Cove to the Oracle Park lights. Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright. Fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us. Breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride. Talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes, yes, yes! Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live. Again, we just got done doing a little in-game, the last couple of innings of the Giants in Cincinnati. Giants lose 2-1. 2-1. Giants fall now to 6-11 on the season, 17 games in. Hey, what are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? All right, guys, let's just get straight into it. We were kind of talking a little bit about it before we hit the music for the post game, because again, we were talking about it in game. So let's talk about what went on today.
And now, today's Giants in Review on Giant Sports Talk Live.
Drive into center field.
Got him.
All right, there we go. There's the final 2-1. Cincinnati over the Giants. Cincinnati is now 10-7. San Francisco 6-11. Giants 1 run on 7 hits, no errors. They had a few hits, but just couldn't get no runs. Cincinnati 2 runs on only 3 hits. That's it. 2 runs on 3 hits, and they had an error. The winner is Singer. Loser is Ray. Pagan gets the save. Yeah. Here's the lineup. We talked about this during the game. Adames is looking great, batting .273, right? He had a 2-hit game with another home run. Arias, a 3-hit game. Chapman, 0-4. Devers, 0-4. Schmidt, 0-4. Lee, 2 hits. Ramos, 0-4. Bailey, 0-4. Susak, pinched hit. And Oliva, 0-4. 3 guys hitting the lineup today, guys. That's it. Only 3 guys. 3 guys out of 9 are the only ones that got freaking any kind of hits going on. There's a problem, right? We can all talk about this. It's not one person. It's a team effort, and the team is failing at the plate. That's plain and simple. Plain and simple. And we'll get more into it after I keep going through the numbers here. Runners in scoring position, not many. There wasn't very many runners in scoring position. 0 for 3. The pitching, again, Ray, 5 innings. He only gave up 2 hits, but those 2 hits were each solo shots, which was enough to win the game today. He did have 4 walks, so he had trouble with a little bit of his command, but the Reds were also putting up some tough at-bats. There's no doubt about it. Also had 6 strikeouts. So Ray did enough. The bullpen did enough. The bullpen had 3 innings of work. Killian came in, only gave up a hit. Wynn and Walker didn't give up a hit and didn't give up any runs. So the pitching, they got it done, guys. And right now, what it seems to be going on over these last few games, it started on the road trip in Baltimore, and now here in the first game, I mean the hitting is absent. MIA, it's gone. It's gone. My God. And without further ado, let's bring in a stranger, guys. Look at this. Lou is back from Augusta. What's up, Lou?
Hey, how are you? Sorry,
Good,
I'm a little under the weather.
No, it's
the whole
okay.
Staff is instructed, so I didn't know we were going in game. So I was watching
No,
the
it's
game,
okay.
but I think everything you said is precise. To tell you the truth, the hitting is just like last year, but with Arias, we've added a few more hits. You know,
Yeah.
and I think right now it's sort of reminding me of a couple of years ago where I believe the Giant pitchers believe they got to pitch a shutout because we just can't really put anything together, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
I mean, Arias gets 3 hits, and you figure, and I know Chapman, should have gotten the hit in the first, and that double play ended, but they got to just put them together. You got him, and then you got Lee that got 2, but and the other thing too with Bailey, God, it's it's getting to the point now where it's bad, and Susak's hitting. I thought for a second that ball might have gone. I thought that today, to tell you the truth, I thought the field played very weird. I know it was blowing to left, but I thought like 3 balls should have gone out. What's his name? Dela Cruz in the first. I thought that was a homer. It was short. I thought Susak's was almost a homer. And I don't know if you noticed too, the Reds reliever at the end, that guy hurt himself. So the one positive thing is they got to the bullpen. I think their stopper who pitched tonight, I think he hurt his groin because he limped off. And so they got something, that we could be looking into. But, it's good to be back. I mean, I'd rather have a big W. But, what can you do? It's one of those games. And, these road trips, 3 road trips and 3 cities in 1 road trip, it gets long, and I know they had a day off yesterday, but it was sort of a rough day today. And again, you brought up a great point, Ray, another wasted performance because, he only gave up a few and, on the road, sometimes that's too much, but Ray pitched great, which is another positive sign and another positive start for his season. And, we can't always be negative. We got to be sort of positive on the few things. But Arias, again, I mean, where would we be without him? When you really think about it.
And to your point, Lou, there's 3 guys who are getting it done right now. Today, Lee is starting to show. Lee started showing something in Baltimore. Now he's starting to show still something here in this first game. But Adames, Chapman, and Arias, those guys are all the heavy lifters at this particular time. And look, and that's not going to get it. And isn't that a little bit weird? Because remember how horrid Adames and Chapman were at the beginning of the season last year? Adames was batting 203. Chapman was batting 179. And we were in here complaining about them every single day. Now, those 2 guys are earning a keep. Look at this. Adames has already got 3 home runs. I think he's got 9 doubles. I mean, Adames is earning his paycheck. But we got some other guys
leading off now. I like him leading off because now at least you have a leadoff guy, and then you got to ride behind him. Yeah, go ahead.
And we never thought that. We're like, Thomas batting leadoff. What is this, right? It made no sense, but it's paying off, and it just goes to show you just never know until they're actually out there and doing it. But we got some guys out there. Look, Devers isn't being Devers. We need to talk about it because there is something weird going on with him, Lou, and I don't know what it is because this guy normally will take a walk, and he did draw a walk there at his last.
Eric,
it's the whole team.
The whole team. I mean, when I was on the road, it was sort of tough because I'm 3 hours ahead, and so even though these games start on the East Coast, I'm still their time zone. So from what I saw, and I heard again tonight, is they're not even looking to take a walk, which is sort of dangerous with a team that strikes out. So if they're not striking out and they're not taking walks, there's a problem because they're not making contact. And, I thought the great thing about Lee tonight, which was fantastic, is his first hit was to left because the defenses are now seeing the Giants are having hitting problems. So their defense is aligning up to batters. So Arias, they know you can't do anything with him.
You can't
when you go
shift
down,
him.
Chapman, he's hitting the ball hard, but he's hitting on the ground. It's not like he's hitting homers everywhere, right? But when you get some of these guys who are in slumps, like Devers, again, they keep and again, when you listen to our homer announcers, I'll call him, he's working his way out of a slump. But you said that about half the lineup tonight. Not everybody's in a slump. It's just one of those things. But hey, positive, you got Adames going, Arias, usual, the hitting machine, as we said, and Lee. But, I thought Bailey tonight wasn't effective. I thought Casey Schmidt, who I know he was good. But again, the thing about Casey is now we're putting a lot of pressure on a guy that isn't a full timer. And you're going to see this on these long road trips where you have a guy that's effective, but he's not a full timer for a reason, And then on games like this, where you get 7 hits, you occasionally need a double or a hit after a hit, especially when your pitcher keeps them in the game. And, it's only one game. Let's see how
you got to tally up the hits
tomorrow.
back to back.
Exactly.
That's what you got to get.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And Quinn, you talked about it 100%. That's one thing that with Schmidt is he's hot and cold. He is. He's a streaky hitter. And that's just who he is. And is there anything wrong with that? No. But you're going to have to deal with that. That's the thing. There's going to be times like he did in Baltimore where he's able to hit the ball all over the place, which is fantastic. Today, he went 0-4. Again, but you got to take it game by game. But that's the history, Quinn, right? The guy is, as you said, right? I think he's fantastic off the bench. But I think the more he plays, the more he could get exposed. Now, we'll have to see how this all plays out. Again, that's my take. I'm not saying that people can feel differently. I could care less. I'm just telling you about how I feel. And the guys that have to produce are the guys who are getting paid the paychecks, right? You got Devers out there. And I'm going to tell you something. What is going on? And I don't understand. Is it something that's being coached? I don't know. Because even last year when Devers, after 16 games, he was batting .250, right? Is that Devers like? No, it's not. But he also had a 370 on base percentage, something like that. Now his on base percentage is in the toilet. He's not taking walks, and he's swinging at shit that is 100% not even close to being a strike. So he's expanding his zone, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Lou,
do you think he's doing too much?
Too much.
Like, in other words, he has to
maybe,
prove himself,
and maybe
without
that's
him doing it. Yeah, again, I'm just throwing it up against the wall. And again,
and that's all I could think of is that he doesn't want to take that walk. He wants to go out there and do damage, but taking that approach, it may be altering whatever the hell he's used to doing, and it's screwing with him. I don't know. I don't pretend to know, but all we could see is we can look at the numbers and we can watch how he's taking these at bats, and there's obviously he is not Devers like right now. He is not Devers like.
And I'm a little confused because they're not loud outs. You know what I mean? Loud outs. And, now he's back at first. Well, if he was injured, why is he playing first? It's a lot of just questions that, again, for me, when I was at work, I'm hearing, I'm looking online. I'm not watching the games like I did tonight. So there's a lot of questions. The one thing, too, is I see the guys in the comments in the chat. Guys, it's only 17 games in. And if you listen to Giant Sports Talk Live, like me and Eric have been doing it since day one, we told you it was going to be rough. We told you it was going to be really tough to begin the season. Our boy, Glenn, who I think is doing Mai Tais in Hawaii or Bermuda.
Yeah, he's on assignment.
He makes the big money, where some of us have to work, is he told you, do not be surprised if they start 11-21. That was his thing. And everyone said, oh, no. And then, of course, the thing about the Giants is we told you these road trips are tough. We told you about this. So don't be surprised. Okay. But the one thing is, it's who you're playing and when you're playing. And Eric brings this up a lot. It's like, we could be playing Washington this weekend, but they're a good team. And when you go on the road, you got to do the basics and you got to stay close, and either you win or you don't. And it doesn't get any easier when we come back. I mean, we got the Dodgers, as we know, they're going to be, it'll be crazy. But again, it's no surprise. It's just one of those things where, I think I'd probably be worried about 40, 45, 50 games. Again, it's only 17. Yes,
correct.
The other thing, too, is nobody's really talking about is on the road, especially early, it's difficult. The weather, if you guys notice, even the announcers are having a tough time because the games are all different times.
They said it was cold.
I think baseball is a lot of continuity, doing the same thing over and over and over again. When you go on the road to, Midwest, East Coast, they got a game, on Thursday, it's 9:00 local time, our time, but it's noon their time. Just give it a chance. I did thought it was a little bit tough off a day off. But again, we don't know what they did on the day off. So, it's only 17 games in. As Eric always says, just be patient. But there are a few problems, and that's why we have this show, and that's why we talk about it.
Absolutely. Look, if someone's doing bad, you come out here and you talk about it. But as you said, and I've been saying forever, when it's this early in the season, and I know you guys are probably tired of hearing that, but it is. And you said, right, you give it 40 games, and then maybe now you got a better understanding, of, okay, now we could kind of see where this team may be trending. And then you go from there. But look, there's a couple of other guys out there. Lou Ramos has been atrocious. Bader has been a zero. Look, they didn't even start Bader. Now, supposedly, he's still battling that hamstring. Yeah. Susan Slusser had a tweet out. I don't know if you guys know this, and that may be one of the reasons why Bader isn't doing as well.
And that's off a day off.
Yes.
So I think, to tell you the truth, if they're smart, don't play him the rest of this stand. You give
maybe just retroactive the IL or whatever
IR,
it is.
Just because we've talked about this, and Glenn brought up a great point. How is our bench compared to last year?
Oh, it's horrible.
This is the time you're going to get it. This is the time you're going to have to show up. We all talked about Oliva, his speed, and even the announcers kept saying, maybe you should put a bunt down. Maybe you should put a bunt down. Just try something different, because obviously the offense is struggling, but you got to try stuff different. That's why I thought it was so great Lee went the opposite way, because what's happening, again, guys, the defenses know the Giants are struggling offensively. Probably 5 to 6 of the guys in the starting lineup. So their defense is telling you, Eric, there it is. It's wide open. Just hit it there, and you get a base hit. If not, you're gonna go out. And the other thing too is, again, I didn't see a lot of the games. Like I said, is they just seem like they're missing something. If that makes sense.
There's something.
Eric. Yeah,
they're
missing like a click. Even the announcers saying, "God, I hope we can do something." Again, all we scored is a one big pop today. But I'm not saying they're flat. They're just missing something to get the component going. And when they were home and they were scoring, you remember they were scoring what? I think 11 runs or something, and then 7 runs. I just feel like they're missing something. The last point I wanted to make, Eric, and then I'll let you go. I'm going to get back to you, is I thought I heard a comment tonight that a lot of people better get this through their head. The top 8 of 10 guys in spring training are batting below 200. Let me explain that again. The preseason spring training, top 10 averages in spring training, 8 out of the 10 are batting below 200. And Sean Estes said this, stats in spring training, records, everything
means nothing.
Absolutely nothing. So when we get so excited, oh my God, the Giants went, 18-2 on the, it doesn't mean anything. Same thing with the hitters, because as Eric explained to you, everyone's working on something. A pitcher might be working on a 4th pitch. A hitter's trying to go the opposite way every time.
Right.
Because it's practice. Now it's game time, you see big differences. And the other thing too is in spring training, you're going against guys that may never make it to the majors, that are fillers, that are safe picks, as Glenn likes to say. When you're in the major leagues, I thought I hadn't seen Cincinnati's pitching staff. My God, those guys are filthy. One guy's pitched 8 innings, is giving up 1 hit, and Adames got a hit. So you felt like an accomplishment. It's so different once the season starts, because these are the best of the best.
Yeah. Carlos, he makes an interesting point. What's up, Carlos? Says, makes you wonder if there's something going on in the clubhouse. We don't. That's the thing, is that one's. Those are harder to pin, because usually you don't hear about what's going on unless someone decides to open their mouth and start talking. So I don't know. There's something weird going on, because, and I'm telling you, and I see it in the chat. I think I've seen enough of Bailey. Man. I look, and this is the thing. I made a post last night, kind of talking about the hitting and, what we're seeing here after 16 games. I tell you what, man, I'm getting tired of watching Patrick Bailey. I just am, because and here's the thing. Yes, it's early, but the problem is he hasn't hit since he's been in the major leagues. That's the point. Some of these other guys have and I say this all the time,
track record. Yeah.
Now I say that they have a track record. They have a back of the baseball card. Bailey, his back of the baseball card shows you he cannot hit. I'm sorry, he has had moments, and I'm not going to sit there and say that he hasn't had some special moments as a Giant. But that consistency, the consistency is not there, and you have to have that if you want to be in the big leagues. I mean, honestly, if he was batting 230, I think a lot of people would be not so inclined in saying, we got to, you know what I'm saying? There'll still be people out there saying, okay, he can't, his bat still doesn't play. But my God, I mean, look what is he batting now? What is he? He's batting 136, right? And again, is it going to stay 136? No, but you know what? It's probably going to stay around 200, maybe 210, somewhere around. I mean, that's kind of where he kind of is, and it sucks. But that being said, and follow me through this with me, Lou. Is Adames going to bat 270 all year? Is his batting average going to finish in the 270s at the end of the year?
A little bit below.
Is Chapman going to finish in the 270s or 280s at the end of the season?
A little bit below.
Is Rafi Devers, is his batting average going to finish in the 220s?
I'd say a little bit higher.
Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make here is just because one player is having a bad go of it right now doesn't mean that's how the rest of the season is going to go. It's not indicative of what is going to happen the rest of the season. And it may be, hey, it could happen, but I'll take the history over anything else, unless he's battling an injury that we don't know. And that very well may be. Maybe there is something that we just don't know about, but he wants to go out there and he wants to play. It's the same thing with Adames and Chapman. No one's talking bad about them now. Last year, why? Because they're competing and they're doing something, so you don't hear it. It's only when they do bad do you start hearing the chatter, so to speak.
Chatter, yeah.
But that being said, that's what I'm trying to say. If we know that these guys aren't 270 hitters and they're more in the 250 range, then I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, they're going to finish batting 270. I mean, come on.
I mean, Eric, here's the thing. If I were to tell you on the road that Ray only gives up 3 hits, we only strike out 5 times, and we get 7 hits, you think we're going to win?
Yeah.
You think we're going to win?
7 hits is pretty decent.
Yeah, especially on the road. And I think the one thing about Bailey is something maybe you guys might have spoken about. So sorry if I'm overbringing it, but
not at all.
You know, except for tonight, by the way, and it was our boy Arise that made an incredible tag. Behind the plate has not been the same as last year. He's having trouble getting the ball, releasing to second. I think before tonight, they had 6 straight stolen bases against us, where last year you could use his batting average because AKA he was a Gold Glove and he was a difference maker. So right now, you almost got to start thinking, hey, listen, you're going to have to make a choice. Do we want Susac, who right now has just as good as arm because Bailey's not that effective, but you got a guy that can make contact. So, you know, it's not going to be like a huge jump down. You know, it's like, okay, oh my God, we're going to have Susac behind the plate. Well, right now, Bailey's not doing it offensively or defensively. And it seems like every time he comes up, it's sort of a crucial situation. You know, so it's really magnifying his at-bats.
100%. Because his defense has taken a little bit of a dive. It has. And that was all his value, to be honest with you. His value was nothing in his bat. It was all his glove. And like you said, the stolen bases, that's something. He's still framing well, right? He's still framing well. But that kind of, there are times where it gets negated because of the ABS. So we'll see how that works out the rest of the season. But I'm just getting tired of seeing the bat. Tommy donates $2. Hey, what's up, Tommy? Says this team is dreadful. Trade everyone at the deadline. Here we go. I mean, goodness gracious, man.
Already,
man.
It's
April 14th. It's April 14th. Trade everybody. I'm not there yet. Look, maybe at the end of May, and we'll see where they are at the end of May, and then maybe we could start talking about that. But April 14th. Nah, not yet. JB, our friend from Australia, donates $2. Bailey has an OPS of 327. What are we doing? It's a great point. Great point, man.
And I'm not even sure if it's 327. I'm looking at his
Let me
stats,
look.
and I think they're a lot worse.
327. That's what I'm looking at. That's his
Okay.
OPS. 320. That's horrendous.
Yeah, and then I'm looking. Oh, you know what? It was his. Okay. So average is 136. On base percentage is 191. Slugging
That's
percentage
horrible, man.
136. Might be the
That's
worst in the
so-
majors.
It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. Look at Helgrim. It's not just 1 month. It's the cycle for years now. Bill Murray didn't relive the same Groundhog Day as the Giant as long as the Giants.
Call.
That's what I know. You're Helgrim. I get what you're saying, but you know what? This time last year, the Giants were killing it, man. The Giants were killing it this time last year.
Were they 20? What was it? 20?
No, it was like
22
they were
and
like
8 to start.
It was
It was like
incredible.
14 games over. Because I remember on the other show, Dan kept saying since they were 22 and 10,
Yeah,
the high mark.
they
they're now
started
like
off
500-600.
awesome.
Yeah.
So no one could come in here and say this is the same team that we've seen, right? We can't. The problem is, though, Lou, and I totally understand it, when you get to game 162, it's always the same. Game 20 has been different from this year to last year. It just has. I mean, that's the facts, guys. Last year, we were all talking about this team may be freaking great. And then it all came apart. And then game 162 is exactly the same as it's been since, 2017, with the exception of 2021. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. And yes, I get it, man. This is bad. 6-11 is atrocious. You can't beat. And look, you want to call a spade, right? That's bad. And they have to do better. And if they don't, well, the jig is up, as they say. So it's going to be something to watch. And it sucks because look, as Giants fans, we want the best. We want to go out there and see wins every single day, right? But unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. Let's see. This team isn't going anywhere. You knew it before the season started. Come on, man, dude. What did I frustrated? What did I say? What are the Giants going to finish? What was my prediction? Let's see if he knows. Come on. What did I say the Giants were going to finish? This is going to play out badly, says Alive Insurance. Oh, that's a great point. Thank you. Frustrated. 81 wins. So what's that put them at 500, right? That was my prediction. But that's just my prediction. That's it. They could finish above. They could finish below. We don't know. They could finish right at 500. Again, that's just my prediction. I just want to see how it plays out. That's all. Just want to see how it plays out. Hypeflix, Lou. Maybe you can answer this
thing. When I saw this,
right?
I said, you know what? This could be the start of something because I know Susac, because Encarnacion was in the batting circle. Why didn't he pink ship for him if he needed the home run? He just needed a guy to make contact because he was going to do back-to-back. Again, this might be a manager that doesn't know the major league sport yet because you need one run. It doesn't matter if Susac gets a single and nothing happens. You need one run. You need a guy up there that's going to be hit the ball out of the park. And Susac's never done it. So why are you pinch hitting him? Encarnacion has got to be your guy. With one swing, you can tie it. It's the 9th inning. I'm sorry, but I understand. But I think this could be the sign of something. I mean, Susac before tonight was 7 for 11. He deserves a start.
He does.
Like I said, with Bailey
More
being
starts.
behind it. Yeah, more starts. I just think behind the back, obviously what they're going to do is they're probably going to do Bailey tomorrow and then Susac on the day game, the night after the day game. But I think he's earned it.
I think he's earned it.
About the Giants is we want guys that can make contact. Well, if you got a guy who's your second string catcher who's making contact, being productive, And it's not all just singles, triples too.
Doubles. He's going to,
You got to play him.
He makes,
then
and it's not just,
why do you have your best player sitting on the bench?
And they've done this twice.
Yeah.
Lou, they did it once in Baltimore where they pinch hit Bailey for Susac late in the game. Today, they pinch hit Bailey for Susac again, almost hit it out. And the thing that tells you something. Just give him the start. And to Hypeflix's point, I agree. Just give him more starts, man. Look, if it means you just start him twice a week rather than just once, so just start there then. But right now, I tell you what, I'm tired of watching Bailey's at bats because they're weak. It's weak contact. It's not even just making contact, Lou. It's just it's slow rollers to the first baseman, slow roller to the first baseman, or a soft grounder to the second. Yeah, I mean, he's just getting eaten up alive. He is. And again, we're picking on Bailey a little bit, but again, this is more than just that. Lee, now he's starting to hit, but we've already talked about, you got Bader, you got Devers, you got Bailey, you got Ramos, you got 4 guys currently who aren't hitting at all.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can't have that. You're not going to win games if those guys aren't hitting.
No.
You're not.
And I think the one thing too is, a lot of the chats might not have noticed this, but the A's just went to the New York and swept the Mets
did.
and the Yankees.
Yep.
So the Giants are lucky that the A's still are sort of a secondary thing in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now with the Giants having the worst record in the National League, and the A's doing so well, it's the heat's going to start happening. But again, guys, it's only 17 games.
Hey, I know.
I have no problem. Hey, guys, we're all fans. I think fans are great because they speak their mind. I think that's what makes this show a little bit different. But again, it's only 17 games. If these were if this was the middle of the season this happened, we wouldn't be talking about it.
No,
but the way it starts, it's sort of like as we use the flavor of the week. Guys, it's the flavor of the month, but we warned you. But month 2 will be better. It's so weird. And we use this phrase a lot. I've done this season. Amazing how 48 hours things can change.
Yeah.
The Giants can come back tomorrow, win 5-0, and everybody's happy. But that's baseball. It's 162 games, But again, there's not a problem. I agree. Right now there need to be some changes. But again, it's a whole new thing. We don't know. Maybe these guys with Tony V, they have a strict rule. You guys, if there's an injury, you talk to me. If you talk outside, you're bench. We don't know. I think that was one of the biggest Melvin's problems last year. Melvin was in charge. You could see it. Like me and Eric would go to a game. It was like 2 different teams. You had the Latin American team sitting one side, and then you had the Americans, the
I know
guys on the other. Nobody spoke to each other. They only spoke like when they had to after a home run. I think they're trying, but it might be too. They're almost trying too much because hitting is contagious. And when you're striking out, it's contagious. And, it's sort of hard right now where you watch Adames, professional hitter. These other guys aren't. And, when you have somebody that's so good, goes up, no problem, 3 for 4, 2 for 3, 3 for 4. Everybody else, they're really the same players as last year. We just need to give them a little bit of time. And,
And you know what's funny, Lou? Last year, let's talk about this. So, if Bob Melvin was managing this team, what would be the narrative? And let's be honest.
Melvin needs to go. It would be
imagine that. How come? Okay. And I'm first and foremost, let me do this. I'm going to preface this, a little disclaimer. I'm not blaming Tony Vitello for what's going on. I don't. But let's hear me out. Because how many times did we hear in the offseason when Tony Vitello was hired and he brought in all these coaches? I was seeing it all over Twitter. He was bringing in all these coaches and everybody was like, oh, the Giants, they're going to be doing something. Woo! They're bringing in all these coaches. They're going to coach these guys up. They're going to coach them up, and this is going to be a hell of a team. Well, early on, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of difference, is there? It doesn't. And I said this last year. I was like, yes, you got to put it on the players. They're the ones that got to go out there and execute. It wasn't on the coaches. It wasn't on, well, to a certain extent, it wasn't on the manager. There's going to be times where the manager will make a mistake and you go out there and you say so. But that's what I'm trying to say. Everyone has their own little niche on how they want to get after the team on why they're doing so bad. It's either the players, it's the coaches, it's the manager, it's Buster, it's the owner. And I get it. I understand it. And that's the beauty of fandom, is because everybody can come on here and say whatever the hell they want. But I'm just saying, it's interesting how times have changed in one season, right? Everybody was ready for Bob to go. Everybody was super excited about Tony Vitello. But now what? I mean, what's the excuse now? And it's not, and again, it's not fair to Tony Vitello, not by any stretch of the imagination. The team has to go out there and execute. So where are we going to start calling for the firing of Hunter Mintz? Does Hunter Mintz have to go? Remember, everyone's saying Pat Burrell, he's got to go. Pat Burrell's got to go. Well, what's Hunter Mintz done? He's the hitting coach. He's the hitting coach. Where is it? Because I want to hear it from the chat, because I saw that all the time last year. Burrell's got to go. He's got to go. What did he ever do in the big leagues? He can't be a hitting coach. Well, you got Hunter Mintz, who was the assistant hitting coach for the Toronto Blue Jays, and now they're not hitting. So who is it? Come on, man. We got to be careful in what we're doing here. And I've said it all along. It has to be on the players. It does. It has to be on the players. They got to go out there and they got to execute. And we don't know if it's going to happen. It's still early. And D-Shot, 100%, dude.
Yeah. And we've talked about this. In fact, I'm going to give Glenn the credit. He criticized our outfield from the start. You know, he said you have a guy like Ramos who mentally sometimes makes bonehead moves and right. You have a center fielder, and if you remember what he said, can't stay healthy. He was a safe pick, great defensive lead, but he can't stay healthy. Well, right now he's on the DL. And then you got Lee, who's very up and down, who's an average at best, right fielder. So, again, guys, we're going to be right sometimes. We're going to be wrong. But, I'm going to give Glenn the credit. He thought our outfield from the start was weak. And right now it's really an anchor. Our outfield just is not producing. And, it's one of those things with Ramos. Everybody talked about him last year offensively. But now the major league has had a whole offseason how to approach him, how to pitch him. And, it's one of those things. It happens. Baseball's a tough sport.
It is.
That's why when you're only successful, 3 out of 10 times, you're a millionaire, and you're one of the best players. But it's tough, and it's one of those things. What can you do? And
there's a couple of things. Jeremy Lopez, what's up, Jeremy? Says, I really don't like Ramos's attitude or body language. I could tell. You know what?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, it's funny. Left on Base says you should have stayed in Georgia. You're having more fun over there than talking Giants baseball. We'll get into what Lou did in Georgia a little bit later. But I'm gonna tell you something before I talk about Ramos. How about this one? Remember this one, Lou? Remember when they signed Luis Arias? How much blowback was there? There were some people who loved it. Some people, his defense is going to be horrible. He's going to lose Giants games with his defense at second base. You know what? His defense has been pretty okay, right? It's been pretty damn good. He has not lost any games for the Giants with him playing defense at second base.
Been the best of all the Giants. He's made no errors. That play today when
that was
Bailey
beautiful.
Threw it behind was an amazing tag. He's done everything right and beyond, and I agree. When we signed him, I kept trying to tell you, we finally have a professional hitter.
Yeah.
And you can see it when he bats. Even the announcers are amazed how quick his thing is. And he's healthy. We talked about that, Eric. He's finally healthy. He had a migraine. He wasn't 100%. And you got to remember one thing, too, is we only signed him for 1 year.
I know.
So he's going to prove himself. Hey, guys, I'm worth
100% he is.
You're going to have to
100%.
sign me for 3 years and give me money, or some other team will. But, it's one of those things. I thought his defense has been phenomenal. And, Eric, if I'm going to give Glenn credit, you were the one that said, give him time with Washington,
Yeah.
Whole spring training to work on it. I think he's been effective. I'm never worried about anything with him at second. In fact, we've talked about maybe moving him to first. Why? He's been so good.
He's been great at for a second. Fantastic. Fantastic. That's the least. Like I said, it's so weird. But this is, let me do this. It's baseball, guys, because you just never know what you're going to get sometimes. Because we said this last year. If we said in the beginning of this, before the season started, if we said after 17 games that Adames is going to be batting in the 270s, that Chapman is going to be batting in the 270s, you guys would have said I was absolutely nuts. No one would have thought that, right?
And we'd be the records would be reversed.
Yeah.
We'd be 11-6 instead of 6-11.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's just, that's the way baseball is sometimes, where there you go, D-Shot. It's a mosaic. Absolutely. I mean, it's just, and you got to stick with it. You got to stick with it throughout the season. It's 162 games, guys. It's every single day. Just like I said, I'll tell you what, today's game is going to be forgotten about, done. Now, tomorrow, you got to go out there and you got to win another game. And then on Wednesday, you got to go out there and win another game. On Thursday, you're going to be in Washington. You got to go win that game. And it's just, it's the daily grind, man. It's the daily grind. Come on. My goodness.
That's what makes baseball so unique. You guys got to remember,
exactly.
Toronto, who was in the World Series last year, has an identical record of the Giants. Do you think the Blue Jay fans have gone crazy? Fire this guy, fire these people.
Right.
Sometimes it takes a while. It's just
it does. And sometimes that happens.
Yeah. We're doing the complete opposite of what we did last year. Complete opposite. But
complete opposite.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Baseball's long, and again, it's who you play when you play. We knew the schedule was tough. As Eric said, we just got to try to stay close to 500. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It doesn't mean the season's over.
Doesn't mean it's over. No, that's right. Exactly. Look at that. He queued it up for me. Left on base. Yeah. I think it's time, Lou. There we go. Proud sponsor of Giant Sports Talk Live here in 2026. Tommy's Mexican Restaurant. Not only is it home to the world famous Tommy Margarita, we can find it everywhere in the world but Antarctica. The food, right? The food is fantastic. Fantastic.
And I'm hearing rumors that are getting pretty close that it looks like we might be back.
Oh.
For another one.
Uh-oh.
So me and Eric are working on a couple of things where we're going to try to do like a little double header. Maybe a possible ball game and then a post game, not a meet and greet, but a post game live at Tommy's.
That would be something.
So that's what we're trying to do.
That would be something. Look at that. We got the Swedish chef. Bork said I could use a margarita. Well, go check out Tommy's Margarita or check out Tommy's Mexican Restaurant.
Tuesday. They are closed on Monday and Tuesday. So rough games like this on Tuesdays, you can't do it. But, I think what we're going to have to do is maybe call them one day and maybe we can do a giveaway of one of their tequilas too. We're going to try to start
there
the box.
There you go. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Oh, crisis. Dom Smith just hit a 3-run double. What an absolute travesty of a miss
Yeah.
in not
So
signing
Eric,
that guy.
I didn't want to say anything, but I saw an article in one of the papers, and I was going to send it to you. Have you pulled up his stats for the year?
Oh, I don't even want to. I know what it is. Here, I'll do it anyways. Oh my God. Oh, I don't even want to. Oh my God. Oh, jeez, Louise. Actually, this is gonna make Giants fans vomit. It's just, come on. Got 12 hits in 34 at bats, batting 353 with 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, a 378 on base percentage, and a 186 OPS plus.
And three of those.
What are we doing here?
3 of the big hits were all in the 8th inning, pinch hitting roles. So we talk about the bench, or we could use that, left pull. So they had an article in the Augusta Times talking about it.
That's a fact. It is small sample,
Yeah.
but man, at least he's doing something. Good Lord. No, that's a fact. Look, is he going to bat 353? No, but you know what? Dom Smith will probably bat you around 290, 280. Come on, I'll take that. I'll 100% take that.
He did that for us. And what did they sign him for, do you think? What was his contract? 1 year, $2
Nothing.
million?
It was a minor league contract
Yeah.
they signed. It was a minor league contract. He's getting paid nothing. Hey, maybe he didn't want to come back to San Francisco. Maybe that's the reason. For whatever reason, maybe we're not, I use that word privy a lot, but maybe we're not privy to what the negotiations happen. My gosh. Ah. Arson Judge. What's up, dude? Just watched the Giants trade for him in late May. When he's down to 280, I'd still take him.
That's got Giants written all over it, doesn't it?
How do you not? Seriously, how
Especially
do you
when
not?
we didn't sign anybody the last month. Like we were going, what are the Giants going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Oh, he would have been fantastic off the bench. I would take him over Encarnacion anytime.
So you would have had him and Suzak, 2 solid guys, which would have made up for last year Dom and Willie. So, again, it's always easier after the fact, but still didn't cost much. And, I would love for the Giants to say, hey, admitted we made a mistake.
And you know what? Dom Smith sacrificed his body. He did, man. He went out there and remember he stretched. That was against the Dodgers, right?
Yeah, and that's the one that cost him the last 2 weeks. It
cost him the season.
Yeah.
Cost him the season. He never came back from that. And he was the straw that stirred the drink for the Giants. When they were on that winning streak, that guy was coming through with so many clutch hits. Many clutch hits. Gosh, the Giants really could have used that guy on the bench. Honestly, I mean, whatever. I'm telling you, Lou. It's just when you see that, I mean, it's right. We're crying over spilled milk, but it's just it's tough, man.
I agree.
And even if he didn't bat 353, if he was batting 270, I'd still take him because he was a good glove at first base, and
he was a great filler. He filled all the positions. He checked out all the boxes. But when you guys think about it, last year, probably the last third of the season, first guy you needed was him. Dom, yep. I need you to play defense. No, and he played great defense. Not good.
He did.
Great defense.
Great defense.
And then he would come up with usually probably 75% of the time a nice pinch hit, great singles, get rallies going. What can you do?
He did. He just was when he came up to bat, I had no concern, no worries. None. I was all right. This guy's going to do something here. He's going to do something.
Eric, when you're the president of his fan club, you got to do a little more support here, kid. You got to tell Buster, hey, listen, we will go 1 year, 1.5. We want to stay here. No. Okay, we'll go 1.3. I mean, because you loved Dom right from the start. I mean, there was him endeavors, but you brought up the guy's so good And he was like a quiet assassin coming off the bench. He didn't care. He didn't need to start. He would come in, do his job, and he did it a lot more than average of the time. And he's missed. You know, he might be one of those missing pieces.
Yeah. Yeah. He goes, and Dom Smith couldn't have been that expensive. How much would you have given him? I would have. Come on. What did he?
I bet you he signed for probably like 2.3 because I'm not sure what the minimum is.
Hold on, let me see.
But probably 2.3. You know, it's better than us getting these guys that aren't pitching until year 2029 that we signed. You know, that are going under the knife or are injured. Come on.
Let me see what he's freaking signed for. I bet you I wouldn't be surprised if it's league freaking minimum because it was a minor league contract. Just waiting for this thing to come up. It's freaking. Oh, there it goes. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Atlanta. Where are they at? Where are you at, dude? Dominic Smith. $1.2 million. $1.2 million is what he's getting paid. You're telling me you couldn't just give him $2 million? Yeah.
You know, again, we talked about,
and that's a good point, Senior. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. You know,
we don't know if he, for whatever reason, who knows? You'd have to ask him.
Maybe they needed money for new curtains at the current theater. Since they just bought it. I just don't know.
Oh my gosh! But whatever. What are you going to do, man? Golly. Am I missing anything here? Are we? Oh, Robbie. Who said this? Robbie Ray trade. Someone said something. Where is he at? The Arson waiting for another Robbie Ray-esque trade to happen. It's going to be interesting to see if what Buster Posey decides to do here. Is he going to decide to do something early? Because remember when he made the trade for Devers, they were leading the division.
Yeah.
Right? They were doing pretty damn good. So it's going to be interesting is Buster Posey going to do something similar?
And you trade him earlier, you get more prospects. And you got to remember, if not, you're going to have to probably, if he has a good year, you know, because Webb's not going to be here forever. You're going to have to sign him at least 3 years minimum, maybe 5. But it's going to be, you know, do you want to sign him 3 years, $75 million? And maybe that's not, you know, again, that's the problem. You don't think other teams want a lefty that's going to be productive? So
yeah,
you got to make a decision. That's why Buster's making this much, you know, that's why he's in the role he's in.
Yep. It's bad right now. I'm telling you, it's bad. Taylor Rogers, although not relevant, but good to see others views our team. Yahoo Sports. Okay. Released their MLB power rankings. They're 28 out of 30. Only better than the Rockies and the Red and the White Sox. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's bad. There's no doubt about it. It's bad right now. And we're just going to have to see how and again, I keep saying it's going to have to see how it plays out. Well, you kind of have to. I think you said it perfectly. Lou, if this was game number 80 halfway through the season, okay. This is who the team is. Not to say they couldn't put a run together, but this is probably who the team is. And then you go from there. And then you got to figure it out. Look, I'll tell you one thing. Look, I don't want to be in the position of Buster Posey or Tony Vitello or any of these guys in front office, because this is not easy. Because you know they're seeing it, they're seeing the fan base react. KMBR is sparing no punches. They're not pulling any punches. They're going out there and laying some haymakers, and everybody is saying it, and fan bases are saying it. You see a lot all over Twitter, and it's not. This is probably something that Buster Posey is used to probably dealing with, right? So he's in some uncharted territory as far as dealing with, you know, a very frustrated fan base. And it's gonna be fun to watch just to see how they're gonna be able to get through this.
And you know, the one thing about the Reds is the Reds weren't scoring, and they're still not scoring.
Yeah,
and we're losing to them. You know, then we go to Washington, a young, productive team. It's not going to be easy. Then we come home for the Dodgers, And then we play Miami, and then we have another tough schedule, where we go to Philly, who's starting to hit again. Then we go to Tampa Bay, that's good. That's why we kept saying, and then San Diego. That's why we kept trying to tell everybody the first 30 games, it's tough. And we knew it. It's just one of those things. It's really tough, but what can you do? It's baseball that you play 162 games, and, maybe they can come around and turn around. And again, it's always the flavor of the week where, who knows? The Giants can come back tomorrow, because imagine if the Giants win tomorrow. They have a chance to win this series, and that's really all we want to do. Win series. We just can't get swept.
And that's something that the Atlanta Braves have done. They've won every single series that they've played.
And that's why, And then here's the other thing about
They're good.
The Giants is baseball is so weird. We won the series against Philly. Then we went to that first game at Baltimore and we won. We won 3 in a row. We actually had a winning streak. And then we came back to reality. But that's baseball. You win 3, you lose 3. But when you lose the last 3 in a row, that's when you start panicking.
Yep.
So,
that's true. And what's funny, Mark, when we were talking about the offseason, I was like, man, Braves are making some really good moves. And I thought with their pitching, and look, they've got Spencer Strider, right? Isn't he? Is he pitching it, or is he still on the shelf? I don't think he's pitching, right? I think he's still on the shelf.
I know one of their other guys isn't pitching. I don't know.
They had there was another injury that they had.
I think they're missing their 1 and 2 starters.
Yeah, and they're still out there getting it done. Yeah, he's still out. Yeah, I mean, and the Braves are still getting it done, man. Look at JB. It's 11:57 a.m. Trust me, I'm not waking up at 4 to watch the Giants. Hey, dude, I get it. I want to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch the Giants. Not right now, man. Come on, man. 4 a.m., brother. And there you go. Hype flicks. See? If they can weather the storm and stay around 500, things will look up. And that's all we're saying. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. We don't know. We just have to sit along for the ride. Right? Come on. Right? Hype flicks. I get what you're saying. We'll see.
And then, Eric, I know people are frustrated, but tomorrow, if you guys come for the post-game show, which hopefully will be after a win, we're going to be having a little giveaway.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
From me to the chat.
Look at this. So look at this. Lou comes back from Augusta, and he has gifts, man. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
We'll have a little giveaway tomorrow just to get everyone excited.
There you go. See, even when the Giants are in the doldrums, you could come here on Giant Sports Talk Live, and you might get something out of it. How about that? Speaking of, where the heck is Team Big V, man? He's the one that won the Adamas bobblehead, and he has an email. I'm gonna have to find out where he's at.
Yeah.
Right on. Again, Lou, thanks, man. That's awesome. You didn't have to do
problem.
that.
Glad it could help.
So let's talk a little bit about
sure.
Augusta.
Well, let me tell you what we do. So I as you guys know, I flew back Saturday before Augusta started. It was probably the best week weather-wise. It was from 67, then went to 70, 76, and then Saturday and Sunday was about 80, 85. We entertained 160, 175, 400, 485, and then 490, 490. And what we do is we have a hospitality venue where people come, they get their badges, eat, drink, masseuses, sushi chefs, the works. And we entertain them, and then they actually take Mercedes shuttle buses to the course about a mile away. Everybody loved it. As you guys saw the tournament, it was very up and down. I'm sorry, Glenn, that, unfortunately, when I have someone that's good and they're not baseball related, I'm still going to send it to Eric, trying to please you guys to show you that I'm still around. I think probably my favorite guy I met, because I was unaware. I thought Eric might have been an Army guy. He was in the Air Force, was the head coach of Army's coach was there. And I got to meet a lot of the VGA guys, which are veterans, Golf Association, great guys. And I know Eric put it up, and Urban Meyer is on the board.
Yeah, I think I
And
still got
then,
it here. Hold on.
yeah. And then we had
There you
a
go.
former player. Yeah, there we are. That's Mr. Peyton on the right in the VGA. He actually runs the Veterans Golf Association, which is great, where they take care of all veterans. And what was amazing about these two is there was probably about another 30, and out of the 30, probably 24 of them, Eric, were missing something, either an arm, a leg, fingers. And, they're all treated the same, but it's a great thing. And, we helped them out, and it was really cool. And I know Urban Meyer, had a little problem with his wife and young girls, but could not have been more classy. He was so great. And then, of course, we had a former guy who I still people think might have used roids, but Gary Sheffield was in all the Florida State outfit. Could not have been nicer. Gary, it's so funny. People forget probably one of the most violent swings. If you guys want to watch a violent swing, watch Gary Sheffield bat. It was unbelievable, and such a nice guy. And the one thing I did ask him, Eric, you'll like him. I said, hey, I have a question, Gary. Do you watch baseball now? Because, you batted lifetime 292, 500, I believe, 4 RBIs. He had 3 consecutive years. Listen to this, Eric. 142 RBIs, 139, and 127. Every one of those years, he walked over 100 times.
That's
pretty incredible, right? And he goes, Lou, these guys have no clue how to hit. Our guys were proud to be close to 300. Now these guys are making money, and they're proud if they're batting 200. It's hard to watch being that type of hitter. And, he said, hey, the World Series was great last year. But what was sort of ironic is the biggest hit was from a guy that wasn't one of the top 25 players in each team.
Miguel Rojas, yeah.
Yeah, right. He was the bottom of the barrel. He goes, it was great for baseball. He just thinks the problem with baseball is too many people are thinking it's a very simple game. And they're not doing their basics. And it's not all about the money. It's some of these guys just aren't doing the basics. He goes, Lou, I played with Milwaukee and I played with LA. Milwaukee, different way the team's organized. When you're a Dodger, everything's first class. Milwaukee, well, we can't be like the Dodgers, a lot of excuses. But boy, you fly in a plane with Milwaukee, it's nice. You fly in LA, you stay in the best. And he said, that's sort of the difference between some of these teams. I asked him, I asked him before, have you ever thought about the Giants? He was this close, and the Giants went El Cheapo, which, again, I don't know who he was talking to. But, it's just one of these things where, it's the same thing when I ran into Reggie Jackson last year. I said, hey, did you watch the World Series? He goes, it's hard to watch. There's no contact. There's too many strikeouts. And I think that's the one thing about our team. At least we have someone that, I get excited about Arias.
I love watching Arias at bats.
He's a guy that makes me want to watch, and I think it's one thing. But overall, the Masters was great. It's long days. A couple guys were sick. It's now spread out. Allergies were unbelievable. But, I'm up at 5 a.m. till midnight, 7 straight days. It's tough. The best time I love is getting back on the plane to San Francisco. Because the one great thing about when you're traveling for work, when you come to SFO and you just walk out of that gate and you get the automatic AC, as I call it, the wind and everything, you're back home. So slept good. And, here I'm glad I get to be back on the show. And I appreciate Glenn and Eric filling in for me and giving me a few time outs, to do my other job. And, we're back here, and hopefully tomorrow we can get the ball rolling again. I want the guys, we want the Giants to win. I mean, my God, the Dodgers are coming to town, and it's easy to get upset when they're on the road. But when they're coming here, I have season tickets. I'm not saying, hey, guys, you want my tickets here? I'm not giving up yet. But it's, it's a little frustrating. But that's what makes baseball unique, and we're fans. Giant Sports Talk Live, I tell people, oh, Lou, you're doing a podcast. What do you say? Why are you always so negative? We speak as fans for the fans. We're not like Susan Slusser, that sort of can't be negative. Everybody, a couple guys on the chat, and I see everyone loves Hunter Pence. you guys got to remember, he's different when he does an Apple game than when he's on Comcast Sports Bay Area that is owned by the Giants. You know, he's a very big homer. Everyone loves him. Okay. He was great for the Giants. He was a great Giant player, but he's a lot different when you talk to him. He's not, you know, he's paid by the Giants, so he's got to tell you what he thinks you want to hear. Giant Sports Talk Live, we're not paid by anybody, you know, and, you know, I appreciate guys when you guys make the super chats. You know, it basically pays for the fundamentals. Plus, you know, tomorrow's tax day. So anything you guys help us out, we appreciate it. And, you know, we're glad you're here. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. And I enjoy doing it.
That's a fact. I mean, come on. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's crazy. I'm looking at some of the standings and you look at some of these teams and you're like, wow, they're definitely not, they're either playing above or some are playing below, right? I mean, goodness gracious. Look, Minnesota Twins, they're leading, or they're in, I should say they're tied for the lead in the AL Central. You think Minnesota
they want to get rid? They wanted to get rid of their 2 starting pitchers.
Yeah. So you honestly, you think that's where they're going to stay? Or you think that Minnesota Twins are going to stay there?
No, Joe Ryan will not be with them by the end of the year. We know that.
Detroit Tigers have a losing record. They're 8-9
with 2 studs. The 2 best starting pitchers, 1-2.
Yep. You got the New York Mets, who are 7-10. How about that? Didn't see that. Chicago
Just got
Cubs
swept at home by the A's.
Chicago Cubs are 8-9. Pittsburgh Pirates are 10-6. I mean, it's the Boston Red Sox 6-10. I mean, it's absolutely incredible how you're seeing some of these teams again, because it's early. Just it's different. You got some teams that are winning that you didn't expect to win, and you got some teams that are losing that you didn't expect to be losing early in the show. So the beauty of the game, right? I don't mean to be beating a dead horse, right? That's kind of what I'm doing, but it's kind of what it is.
No. And Eric, hey, RJM, I appreciate it. I love joining the show. You know, it was through a lot of negotiations. I left a good guy, Dan, and I joined Eric and Glenn for a reason. You know, I want to do this so I can be me, and Eric and Glenn want me to be me. And I think we made something that, you know, is sort of cool where, you know, a year ago they said, hey, Lou, you know, I would never even think of us doing a show on the road. You know, I would never do a meet and greet. I would never want to meet you guys more than just here. But, you know, you guys make it fun. I mean, our meet and greet was so much fun.
It was a good time.
When I go back to Tommy's, they talk about it. Dude, are you guys going to do another one? Have you thought about it? I mean, it's a good time. It is. And I love showing this off, you know, and it's one of those things where, you know, we talk about this a lot. Me, Eric, and Glenn are so different, right? But when we come on the show, we don't change. We want to be ourselves, which makes the show. And you guys in the chat, hey, there are some guys that say, Lou, you are so bleeping negative. That's fine, right? But that's what makes the show. We're all fans. Trust me. If we weren't doing the show and somebody in the chat were doing the show, we would be in the chat saying the same thing. We'd be in the
chat. Yeah, that's where I was.
Yeah.
That's where I was when I first started doing this. I was in the chat just talking to a whole bunch of people, talking baseball, having fun. I'd be doing the same thing.
And, you know, one of the things I always say is Eric is so good at what he does. I don't know how to do all this stuff where he sets everything up. They make it easy. They're almost like my, what would be my agents, my supporting staff, where they make me look good. I just show up after I do the makeup and I get my candy to go on live. You know, they make me look better. And I think it's sort of funny where, you know, you guys see us, but we're all buddies. And when we hang out, you know, it's one of those things. And, you know, I like the show. I look forward when you don't admire Eric, when you don't do the show, you sort of feel like you're left out. Like, what did I miss out on?
Yeah.
And, you know, hopefully you guys join us for that particular reason. You know, we try to make it fun. And again, it's amazing how baseball and this show can change. A week from now, it can be completely different.
Exactly.
So,
Jeremy, Marty will be making an appearance tomorrow. So look out for Glenn's show. He's going to be over there on Glenn Kuiper's show tomorrow. So look out for Marty. Yes. Marty will eventually get streaming. He's letting everything settle in. Can understand that, right? Because you know how it is in the beginning of the season. It could get a little bit crazy. So he's going to let the season settle in a little bit, and he will be back, Jeremy.
So we're getting all his abuse. He owes us. Is that what it
is? We're taking the arrows, right? Yeah, exactly. Hey, come on. He's been doing this for years. Remember, he used to do the post game. Could you imagine what the post games would have been like right now if he was doing? Oh man, he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, yeah." I mean, it comes with the territory, right? It's just fans being fans. So again, tomorrow should be a lot of fun. Zoo says that this platform is quite enjoyable. Y'all have accurate analysis and optimal perspectives. Gratitude. Hey, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Look, I don't try to come on here and act like I know. I hope I don't come on here and always try to act like I know everything. I just kind of give my perception. Same thing with Lou and Glenn, and we have fun talking about it, man. It is. It's fun. And when it's not fun no more, well then we want to be doing this. But appreciate the kind words, Zoo. Hopefully I got that pronounced correctly. If I don't, forgive me. But welcome to the fraternity we call Giant Sports Talk Live. Yeah, wish Marty. Yeah, he was kind of the calm voice, right? When everything was going to hell in a handbasket. There's no doubt about it. All right, hey, Blue, listen to me. I think we're about done, man. We'll be back here again tomorrow night.
A little giveaway tomorrow night too, so something to look forward to, and hopefully a big giant W. And Glenn,
yeah, that's what we're looking.
Yep. Have a margarita for us on the beach wherever you are.
Absolutely. And before we get out of here tomorrow, Tyler Malley is going up against what is it? Rhett Lauder, I think is Rhett Lauder is going for the Reds, and let's see what the Giants are going to be able to. I thought the Giants were going to be able to get the Singer because Singer has been absolutely horrendous. And the Giants just couldn't do nothing against them. Nothing. My goodness. What are we going to do? So, hey, maybe they go hit Rhett Lauder tomorrow. But we got to go out there and get that. We got to win series, Lou. We got to win series.
Yep. Agree.
You can't get buried. All right, let's get out of here, Lou. Guys, be good. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night, and we'll be back here tomorrow night and do it all over again. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.